Have you ever been in that situation where you feel like something in your relationship is just off, but your partner seems completely oblivious? It's a feeling so many of us know. Well, today we're going to dive into why that happens and look at the tiny, almost invisible details that can create these huge emotional gaps. And this quote right here, this is at the very heart of what we're talking about. Now, this isn't an attack or an accusation, it's an observation. And it really sets up this central mystery we're going to try and unravel. Why does this happen? And more importantly, what does it mean for our relationships? So, let's start with a really fundamental idea. This isn't about one person being right and the other being wrong. Not at all. It's about two people who can be in the exact same moment, but they're seeing it through completely different lenses. It's truly a tale of two worlds. What's so interesting here is that this isn't about someone being careless or not paying attention. It's about a basic difference in perception. You've got one person building a whole picture from 1,000 tiny little pieces of information, while the other person is just looking at the big picture, maybe not even noticing those pieces exist. Okay, so what does this actually look like in real life? Let's get into the stuff that's communicated without anyone saying a single word, the unspoken language. Let's take something super simple, like a phone call. For a lot of women, the very first clue that something feels off has nothing to do with the words being said. It's all about the sound, the rhythm of the voice. She might notice his replies are getting just a little bit shorter, or that the whole pace of the conversation has slowed down a beat, and that usual warmth in his voice, it might feel kind of flat or missing. Now, these are tiny, tiny shifts, but to her, they can feel like giant alarm bells. And this right here, this just perfectly shows the disconnect. Her brain hears those little cues and immediately jumps to a conclusion. Something is wrong. But for him, he's just talking about his day. He's thinking it's just a conversation. It's the same event, but they're living in two completely separate realities. And this pattern just keeps on building with another really powerful nonverbal cue, eye contact. See, it's not just about if you're looking at someone, but how you're looking at them. So she might notice that his gaze seems a little unfocused, or that he's kind of looking away. There's even this idea of a missing sparkle in his eyes. It sounds poetic, but for her, that tiny detail can say so much more than any words of reassurance ever could. Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit. We're moving from single moments to looking at patterns over time. Because what happens when those small daily routines, the things that make us feel safe and connected, suddenly get broken? And oh boy, here is an example that is so relevant today. The way a partner starts interacting with their phone can become this huge source of unspoken information. All of a sudden, he's holding his phone way more than he used to. Or he starts placing it face down on the table, something he's never done before. Or maybe she sees him reply instantly to someone else's message, while hers has been sitting there for a while. He hasn't said anything is wrong, but her mind is already connecting these dots. Now, this one is really powerful because it's about what's not there anymore. It's about the things that used to happen, but now they just don't. You know that good night text he sent every single night without fail? Well, for the past few nights, it hasn't come. Or that question, how was your day, that he'd always ask the second she walked in the door. It's just gone. To her, these aren't just missed actions. They feel like a serious downgrade in how much he cares. And this is the absolute key. From his perspective, he might be thinking, what's the big deal? It's just one text message. I was exhausted. But from her point of view, that text was never just a text. It was a symbol of his constant care and attention. So when it's gone, it signals a change in that attention. So we've seen the what, all the different details that get noticed. But now we finally get to the why. Why do these two completely different worlds of perception even exist? Well, the source material gives us a reason that is both beautifully simple and really profound. I mean, seriously, if you've ever asked yourself this question, if it feels like your partner is some kind of mind reader, well, it's not magic. It's just a different kind of operating system. So what is it? And here it is. This is the core idea. The argument is that these different ways of seeing the world come from two different filters. One is emotion and one is logic. Women often connect all these little data points based on feeling and intuition, while men tend to process that exact same information by focusing on the hard facts and direct actions. You know, once you understand that core difference, that contrast between emotion and logic, it lets you reframe this whole conversation. We can actually move away from blaming each other and getting frustrated and move toward a place of real, genuine understanding.
And this is the question we all ask, isn't it? After seeing all these ways we misunderstand each other, our first instinct is to figure out who's at fault, who needs to change.
The answer is as simple as it is powerful. No one. No one is wrong. It's not a flaw in his logic, and it's not an overreaction in her emotion. It's all about realizing that we connect, we care, and we show love in different ways. One person might show love through being emotionally in tune and noticing every little thing. The other might show that same love through practical help and direct actions. Both ways are totally valid. They're just different ways of loving. So we'll leave you with this to think about, whether it's you choosing to notice a tiny shift in your partner, or you choosing to see a forgotten text as just that, a mistake, and not a sign that you're not loved. That awareness is everything. Understanding these two worlds isn't about trying to fix one of them. It's about learning how we can build a bridge between them.